Imagine spending thousands on a solar and battery system for your home, and then all of a sudden, the manufacturer disappears. This isn't a hypothetical scenario. This is what just happened to a huge UK battery manufacturer. Thousands of homeowners across the UK have been left with no customer support, no firmware updates, and most importantly, no control over certain parts of their system. So in this video, we're going to unpack what really happens when a major renewables manufacturer goes bust. We're going to visit two customers who've been badly affected by the collapse of GivEnergy. We're going to dig into what happened and what might be a solution for them. And make sure you watch to the end of the video because I'm going to give my top tips as to what you can do if you find yourself in this situation now or in the future. So we're on our way to see Dan, who is an electrician who follows us on Instagram. He's got his own YouTube channel as well. And he messaged me the other day to say he's been having an absolute nightmare with this GivEnergy system. And he just reached out to see if we can help, maybe showcase what's been going on the channel. So we're going to go over there and find out what's been happening. What did you do? So did you do the solar? Yeah. And you did the GivEnergy thing from scratch. Yeah. I bet it's churning out on a day like today.
Don't know. Can't monitor it.
Well, that's crazy. So Dan reached out to us because he installed this GivEnergy system a while ago, and he's had major problems since GivEnergy went into administration.
Yep. 100%.
So tell us what's happened. What's the backstory?
So initially, just trying to get it commissioned was hard enough. I had many phone calls with their tech department. Once it was up and running, absolutely fine, until the client decided they wanted to change their internet provider, and that's where the real problem started. Yeah. They went from standard internet provider to Starlink. And that's where this doesn't talk to Starlink in any way, shape or form. It only talks in 2.4 gigahertz. We had to create a separate network, 2.4, and it still won't connect. So at the minute, the customer is blind.
So presumably it's working, but they don't actually know because they can't see anything in the app.
They can see what's on the screen here and on the batteries, but that's it. The only real indication the customer's got is on their bill, which is showing it as a reduction. Yeah. But they can't switch tariffs to the one they want to switch to, because they have no control over this yet. Yeah, so this is what we've been thinking about, is there's so many different layers to this. Like, it's not just the GivEnergy app, is it? But it's like you said, if they want to get on a smart tariff, can they now? You know, yep. How does it all integrate? It's just an absolute minefield, isn't it? So was this like your first ever GivEnergy? My first ever system. And your last, I would imagine. I was on the verge, so yeah. So I'll be honest with you, we did do one GivEnergy install. It was the first and the last. And the reason for that was that during that process of installing it and learning the product, and we even filmed a video about it, I just didn't feel that it fitted with what we're trying to do at Artisan, which is to only fit premium products that are easy to install, that look great, and that have that support. So although hundreds of installers were banging on about GivEnergy and how great they were, we held back from fitting any more products. We literally made a decision to never install GivEnergy again, except for our one customer who we visited today, where we made an exception. And I'll be honest, I regretted making that exception as soon as we did it. So the customer originally had this, which is a 3 kilowatt inverter. We did not install this. We did not install the solar. It was done by another company. But because we'd done some other work for this customer and he had confidence in us, he asked us if we would upgrade this inverter to a slightly bigger one, add a bit more battery storage for him. And we thought, well, although we don't fit GivEnergy very often, or barely ever, how difficult can it be? So we said we'd do the job, and just a few months ago, we upgraded this system. And that's where the problem started, because one, it reminded me how much of a nightmare the GivEnergy commissioning process was. Lee was here for like 2 days just trying to get it all commissioned and set up and working. It was just so clunky, it was like pulling teeth. But we got it installed and it seemed to be working okay. And then about the same time, GivEnergy went into administration. And that's where the problems started to get worse. So this is the Zappy charger. They've got an 𝐿𝐸 as well. And part of the issue was that the GivEnergy battery and solar system was not talking properly to the Zappy and the 𝐿𝐸. The readings that the GivEnergy inverter was showing didn't match with the �my_energy system, and the customer trusted the �my_energy app more than the GivEnergy app. We wanted to get everything
to just work properly and all symbiotically work together in harmony and all show the same readings. But because of the software issues with GivEnergy and the fact that their tech support department basically disappeared overnight, we couldn't get in touch with anyone, we couldn't connect to the inverter to change any of the settings, and we were left scratching our heads. Now, it's very sad what's happened to GivEnergy, and I feel bad for everyone who's involved, particularly the company and people who've lost their jobs and everything. But I did see this coming. I knew that this would happen at some point. And the reason for that is just the nature of the industry. Like, it's so cutthroat out there. Companies trying to churn out products at very low cost and very low margin. So many installers going bust because they've not got sustainable business models. And sadly, it seems so with manufacturers. And we've seen it with EV too, with multiple EV charging point manufacturers going into administration for very similar reasons. But the thing that I really worry about is all of the customers out there who've had installs done by installers who are not going to be able to offer the long-term support that the customers need now to help them fix these problems. Because the reality is some installers were only fitting GivEnergy and they were doing it at a very low cost and very low margin. These installers may well have a ton of stock sitting in their warehouse somewhere that they can't even sell right now. And the future of those companies might be in the balance right now just because of the way that they've been running their businesses. The biggest lesson from all of this that I would say to any customers out there is be careful about who you choose to do your installation. Going with the cheapest quote will often result in you saving money in the short term, but not in the long term. Because right now, there are hundreds of customers out there who are going to have to pay somebody else probably to come in and fix this system because their original installer either won't pick up the phone or won't be around for very much longer. Okay, so tell us what you've tried so far.
So I have tried a hardwired connection from the actual switch, Ubiquiti switch here, to the inverter itself. That hasn't worked. I've tried creating a whole new network with the old username and password because it was a suggestion I had online. That didn't reconnect automatically. So then we had to create a new 2.4 gigahertz network on a separate, completely new system with different name, different password. It wouldn't accept that either. We really need that tech help, basically.
That's it, yeah. And with all companies, you know that the last line of defense is, well, worst case scenario, if I can't figure it out, I can phone technical.
Exactly.
And now that has gone.
It's gone.
And you're really up the creek without a paddle than without technical, isn't it? Yeah. Now, we put a poll out to our YouTube subscribers to ask them for comments if they've had any experiences so far with this, and there was a few interesting comments that came through. Simon Moorcroft said, "The only issue for me is the loss of warranty. I have full control locally and remote via Home Assistant. I've also signed up to Axle for export at peak times, which also gives you a free premium tier." John R. 31415 says, "All my hardware is still working. They're just releasing the premium API so that the software arm can carry on, and with Octopus Energy you can get it for free." Richard Spores says, "Just worried that if my inverter goes kaput, will I be able to replace it again?" That's a really good question. If not, I have 2 batteries that will be junk. And Mr. Wobbling, great name, says, "I've just received a £65 credit from Octopus Energy for exported energy from my GivEnergy battery. They are the real deal." So we've got my laptop and we are going to attempt to connect to the inverter, see if we can access some of the settings and try and get it back online. So we're just trying to actually see the Wi-Fi network for this. So usually the device itself beams out a Wi-Fi network that you can log into, and then you're sort of on the local network of the device and you can access the device and you can change settings and things. However, we can't even see the network that this thing is beaming out. It's not appearing for you either.
No.
So it probably needs to kind of have some kind of reset or something in order to get that Wi-Fi accessible. Now this is an email that's just come in 2 days ago from GivEnergy about their new GivEnergy premium software service. And that might make you wonder, but but I thought GivEnergy had gone into administration. What the heck is going on? And I'm going to condense this very long email into the points that I think are most important for you guys, but I will leave a link down below so you can read the whole thing if you haven't seen it yet. The email says that GivEnergy Software's parent company, GivEnergy Limited, has been placed into administration. It seems like GivEnergy Software is now trying to work on a solution to keep people's systems going. And the solution, it seems, is GivEnergy Premium. GivEnergy Premium is basically a subscription software service where you pay £4.99 a month in order to continue to be able to use your GivEnergy app and see what the system's doing. And at first you might think that sounds like a bit of a scam, but actually when you look into it, what they're saying is they're not going to be running this as a for-profit company. They're not going to be getting any new customers because obviously nobody's going to have new GivEnergy systems fitted. So they're kind of doing this as a favour to everyone who's got a system installed already. Now, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest, because I just think no business should be running not for profit unless they're a charity, in which case they're not a business. How long this can continue, I don't know. But it says for at least as long as GivEnergy Software exists, there will be a free standard tier. Now, why are they doing this? Well, the reality is that GivEnergy hardware company was paying the software costs up until now. Now the hardware company is gone, the software needs to pay for itself. So what was a free software, now the money has to come from somewhere, otherwise it's not sustainable long term, which makes sense. Now, I'm not a software nerd, so I don't fully understand this, but they've said that they've always supported open source direct control of the equipment. So what it means essentially is even if the worst case scenario happens and GivEnergy Software also goes into administration, there's still going to be ways to control your system. It's just going to involve some kind of special programming, which if you're not a computer nerd, you're probably going to have to rely on something that somebody else has created, either on a forum or something like that, or something that you can buy, and presumably someone will make that in order for you to be able to still operate your system. So this is a system that we've replaced it with the 𝐼Energy 𝐿IBI system. Now you might wonder, why did we go with the 𝐿IBI system? Well, to be honest, it's purely because we had some stock that we'd removed from another job that we were able to sell to the customer at basically very low cost. This setup is almost identical to what the customer had before. We've got an EPS terminal, so this consumer unit here is basically running off the backup side of the inverter. So why has the customer decided that he wants us to rip this GivEnergy system out and change it for a 𝐼Energy system? Well, there were multiple issues with the system. One was that obviously the tech support and all of the software back-end stuff was just gone overnight. So that left a lot of things hanging in the air. But we also had issues with the EPS side tripping repeatedly, which is very frustrating for the customer. The other issue as well was that the batteries were not charging and discharging in the way that the customer wanted them to. And all of that combined with the fact that all of the back-end support was gone, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak, and the customer decided to just scrap GivEnergy and start fresh. And here's the reality of what's left. A very expensive scrap heap. We've got a battery, which the battery itself is very good. It's got plenty of capacity. I mean, let me know if you want to buy this, because it would be great if somebody can use it. We've got an inverter, we've got another battery back there, we've got a battery controller and even a GivEnergy voltage optimizer. And it's all just sitting here now in the stores. Hopefully we can find a second home for it somewhere so it doesn't have to go to the big scrap heap in the sky. But it just shows that even new products like this inverter, we only fitted it 6 months ago. They're not always gonna last the test of time. Now, I guess the question is, well, how can we stop this from happening again in the future? A lot of people are wondering who's going to be next, who's going to be the next GivEnergy? One thing I would say that could help, and maybe this is something that needs to be regulated, is what GivEnergy mentioned in their email that they sent out, where they said that actually the software company, the GivEnergy software company, didn't have any money ring-fenced from the hardware company to actually be there for long-term support even if the company did go bust. Now that could be a good idea, whereby if there is two separate entities, the hardware company reserves a certain amount of the revenue for software support for the lifetime of the system, even if the hardware company went into administration. That would serve as a kind of an insurance policy almost, that if the worst case scenario did happen, the software can continue to be maintained for the lifetime, free of charge for the customer. So the Wi-Fi network that it's generating is literally a dot with a few spaces.
Click it to STA mode. There you go, yeah. And then scan for networks at the top.
Right. Feels like you've almost done this before.
Once or twice.
It literally says lost.
One system.
Look, if anyone in the comments has dealt with this situation before and knows the solution, please reach out to us. It's frustrating for me, and I've only just got here. Poor old Dan has been dealing with this for weeks, and the customer is very frustrated. So if we can get this fixed, it would be amazing. So thanks, Dan. It's been really good to see the situation here. Obviously not easy for you and the customer, but hopefully with the help of our viewers, we can get a solution to this. And make sure you stay tuned and follow Dan on his channel, Renewable Electrical Services. He's got a YouTube channel as well.
Thank you.
And maybe he'll be updating us via his channel about what's going on too in the future.
Hopefully with some positive news.
So if you're a customer and you're stuck in a bit of a difficult situation because of this, what can you do? Well, first thing I would say is contact your installer. Many good installers will be willing to help, and they will look for solutions for you. Now at the moment, things might be a little bit up in the air. It's still quite early days with this. So the installer might not have all the answers, but they should at least be there on the end of the phone to answer your questions and try to offer as much help and support as possible. And that all comes under the workmanship warranty that we offer as MCS approved installers of solar and battery systems. Now the reality is that the GivEnergy warranty, the product manufacturer's warranty, is basically worthless now at this point. So another recommendation that I would say to anyone who's buying a solar and battery system is, if you're paying for the system, try and pay at least the deposit or a little bit of the deposit on a credit card. That means you're protected by the credit card company. And in theory, as long as you've got all the paperwork, if something does go wrong like this in years to come, you can fall back and claim on your credit card company under the Consumer Protection Act and the Consumer Credit Act to be able to get compensated or covered for what's gone wrong. For me personally, to be honest, I feel like I've dodged a bullet. I feel like we could be in a much worse situation as a company if we had have gone down the route, which was quite tempting, of fitting lots of GivEnergy systems very cheaply because the demand was there from customers. But we chose to say no to a product that we weren't confident in. And I guess the lesson for anyone who's watching this, whether you're an installer or a customer looking to get a system fitted, is do your research about the product and the installer. If you've got a great product backed by a company who's got a proven track record, there's good reviews, the software is good, the commissioning process is good, that already builds confidence. But if you pair that with a great installer who has been known to support customers even when things go wrong, an installer who cares about only choosing products that they feel they can truly rely on and get support from, I think if you pair those two things together, you're much more likely to end up with a rock solid system that's going to last for years and decades to come, which is what these systems are designed to do. Now, there's always the chance that the world turns upside down and things can go wrong, and we can never predict the future. But I'd say those two things are key to get a great install and have the peace of mind that your install is going to be there, it's going to work, you're going to be able to control it and use it for a long time to come. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. There's been a lot of research that's gone into it. So if you have enjoyed it, it'd be great if you could share it out with somebody else who might benefit from it. Hopefully we can help a lot of people with this video to figure out a solution to this very difficult situation. But either way, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.